PCS has been my theater home since 2001, and I love coming back. I mean, they do some of the best shows here. The people are fantastic. People love pitching in and volunteering, and it's just a great community experience. I highly recommend PCS for anybody who wants to come out and see a great show, or be a part of a great show, or just be a part of a great group.
So over the last 30 years, I've been worked in a lot of theaters all over the place, and I've never really experienced such a dedicated community-based theater. Every single person here who takes responsibility for a job really owns that, and it makes working here as an actor or as a director or even coming here as a patron just an absolute pleasure in a way that I just haven't experienced in a local theater before. And that's why I spend so much of my time and energy here at PCS.
PCS is important to me because it is a community and kind of feels like a second home to me. I lived away for a lot of years out of Pennsylvania, and when I came back, I just randomly auditioned for Jesus Christ Superstar and got into it. And Anne-Marie Scalise caught wind that I was back and really encouraged me, invited me to sing at a cabaret, which then led to Sister Act, Mamma Mia, Annie, etc. I've known Anne-Marie since I was a kid, so I asked her one day, like, why are you really pressuring me to come back into, the theater? And she said, when she was a kid and I was in Anything Goes at Upper Darby Summer Stage, I was nice to her. That was her response. So let that sink in, that kindness goes a very long way. And PCS is a place where everybody can just kind of feel and be themselves, and it's a great environment to be in. The end.
PCS is important to me because it's all about community and community engagement, and I've really found kind of a home away from home here. I have a background in theater, and I was really looking for a solid place that was professional, kind, and welcoming to people of all walks of life. I came to PCS in 2022 with a production of Disenchanted. I saw the audition notice, and I thought it was going to be super, super fun. It was kind of that post-COVID time, and I wanted to get back into performing, and then I fell in love with it. You should support PCS because it's all about the community. It's all about diversity and engagement with other people who love theater, love the arts. And the arts are so important right now in this time. And you can come and you feel welcome, and you have a place here with any skill or any job you might want to do. You can volunteer, you can work on sets, you can perform, you can help with the box office. You name it. If you like the arts, this is the place for you.
PCS is important to me because of their commitment to accessibility and inclusion. We offer relaxed performances for every single experience for children's theater, second stage as well as main stage, and we're really working on building up our audience membership to feel as empowered audience members. What brought me to PCS was the ability to tap dance on the stage. We were doing Guys and Dolls in 2018, and I haven't left since. Some of the things I do here at PCS is I run our DEI and relaxed performance program. I also answer all the voicemails. I do box office. I help a lot behind the scenes and wherever they need a helping hand.
The Lord's work.
PCS is important to me because it provides a warm, welcoming environment for people from all walks of life to create and celebrate the arts. PCS is important to me because it provides... What brought me to PCS was wanting to find something in my life that always brought me joy and bring it back to the forefront. I was always involved in the arts and creating throughout my childhood and my early 20s, but it got put on the back burner due to adult responsibilities, and I made a commitment to myself to get back to that place of joy during 2024. And in watching a friend of mine's wonderful experience with PCS, it inspired me to come here and try performing with this wonderful organization. It's important for others to give to PCS so that the tradition of creativity and inclusivity and the arts to continue and thrive and grow and change throughout the years. It's also important for people to give their time to make sure that PCS can continue running and be strong into the future.
PCS is important to me because it's family. Ever since Dave and I came in here and were welcomed, we have felt such a part of this organization. I love PCS because there's a place for everyone. I love PCS because there's a place for everyone. No matter what your talent is, there's a way that you can contribute to these beautiful, fun, and relevant stories. These stories that change people's lives. First came to PCS because it was invited by our friends Ryan and Brian Walden, and we did Mamma Mia and Sister Act, and we just decided to stay because it's such a welcoming place and we're having a blast. Theater changes lives. Theater changes thoughts. Theater is thought-provoking. Theater is very important at all times, but especially now. So giving your time, your talent, and dollars will help the society continue.
Why is PCS important to me? PCS has been part of my life for 60 years as of this year, and I'm kind of proud of that. I looked forward to a couple of years back the point where I had been a member of PCS for half as long as PCS had existed since we started in 1911. When I got here, I was thrilled. I was thrilled because this was the best theater I'd ever seen as an amateur actor, and better than a lot of places I'd seen that were professional that I'd gone to. Our seating was great because the audiences were comfortable. The technical supplies were amazing. The amount of things that we could do with the lights and with the set was just more than I could ever have hoped for as an amateur thespian. And the quality of the shows that we did were just fantastic. And I quickly fell in love with PCS. Now you have to remember, back then it was a club, which is a very strange thing for a theater to be, but it was literally a club. You couldn't come into this building unless you were a member. And if you look at the old lobby that we're sitting in now, the reason there was no box office back here at that time is because no one needed a ticket. There were only club members coming to the shows. And it was literally a club like a country club. If you wanted to join, you had to know a member who had to suggest you for joining, and the board approved you. Very different from today, when we welcome anybody to come to the club, and when we are looking forward to seeing more and more audiences as we grow, continue to grow. But it was very, very interesting back then. The club has changed so much since then. There have been so many changes to the physical club. There have been many changes to the way we do things and the way the board functions, and there have been many changes to the actors. Actors used to be, this was, as I said, it was a club, so it was a close-knit group that did every show, and every once in a while someone else would show up and a new person would come in, as I did in 1964 when Andy Pollock brought me over here. But it was a very, very closed thing. Now we see new actors, new directors, new people coming in every show. And it's amazing. The only thing that's consistent is we still do fantastic theater. And as an old-time member, I'm so proud of that. I don't do as much as I used to. For some reason, they don't write that many parks for 85-year-old guys who are going, you know, having problems of being 85. But one of which, by the way, is when you get older. I hate to tell this to the people who are new to this craft of theater, but when you get older, it gets tougher to memorize lines. And I've noticed that, and a couple of my friends have noticed that. But we still participate when we can, and it's still great to have this theater available to us. I've seen so many things over the years. When I first came here, the lighting, being a lighting guy, I was very interested in the lighting, and there were like three spotlights on each side of the auditorium out in front, and then the lights on the stage, and they were all controlled by the old board, which still is there for those of you who like history. You can look at the old board where we controlled the lights. And then over the years we grew, we added new equipment, and now we still have the most modern equipment that you could want for producing a show. But I saw that change. The workshop where we can build our sets had been built a couple of years before I came here, but that was considered at that time a relatively new thing. But let's see, what have I seen since then? Oh, a fun fact, when I first arrived here, because of the reconstructions that had been done to the back of the theater here, the ladies' room was upstairs. The ladies had to climb a flight of stairs to get to the ladies' room, not accessible at all. The men's room was at the back right-hand side of the house, which meant if you went into the men's room during a show and flushed the toilet and came out quickly, everybody in the audience would be thrilled to hear the sound of the toilet flushing. It was not the best of situations. We fixed that because we redid the balcony, and we put both the men's and ladies' room upstairs. Again, not accessible at all to anybody who had any sort of problems with steps, but at least we had equal facilities, and very nice facilities. The ladies' room upstairs was beautiful, but it wasn't accessible. And then, of course, we got our new wing with our lobby and the rehearsal space. So that just makes me feel really wonderful how we've expanded and keep doing things. We have the new seats, which I credit my wife for. She suggested to the board that we should get new seats to replace the old naugahyde seats, if anybody remembers naugahyde, kind of plasticky substance which cracked after 30 years of use. So a lot of them had springs sticking out of them. And when she came up with the idea of the new seats, I, being, of course, having the greater wisdom as a man, I said to her, honey, you know the quote you got won't be good, because by the time we collect the money to put in these seats, the quote will have expired. And she reminded me of this 8 months later when I was putting in the new seats, because she had gotten all the money raised in that amount of time. It was kind of amazing. So again, I've done a lot around the club. I've been involved in the running of the club. As far as the board goes, I've been involved as an actor, a director, a technical person, and doing shop, working on sets, working on lights, a lot of working on lights, as I said. And it's wonderful to look back on all the things that we've changed, but still, as I say, the constant is that we produce great theater. And the other constant is we have audiences coming in to see the great theater, which is really, really great. I used to give a speech from the stage, and I'd say, you know, I understand if you're interested in theater, you can schlep yourself all the way up to New York and pay a fortune to park your car and go and see a show, and then pay another fortune to eat something, and you can see something almost as good as we put on here, but why would you do that? And I think that still holds today. Every time I see a new show here, I'm impressed by something. This season I've been very, very impressed with the shows we've put on for various reasons, but almost uniformly impressed. Every once in a while we do one that's only of average good quality, but I find myself constantly looking around and saying, I'm glad that I'm at Players Club. I'm glad that I stayed here for 60 years, and I look forward to staying here another whatever life is left in me, because I'm gonna keep coming to this theater until I can't make it anymore.
I came to Players Club in 1985. I auditioned for They're Playing Our Song, first musical I did here, and I haven't left. So it's been over 40 years that my husband Jimmy and I, and then subsequently my family, my kids as well, who are now grown, participated in theater here. We volunteer. We work backstage, we help build sets, we sell concessions, we perform. I perform, my husband's not going to get on stage, but he can do master carpentry and electrical work and sound and lights. And I get to do all the fun stuff out in the front of the house. I'm a house manager. I've been producing director. This place is amazing. It has become a second home to me and my family. We enjoy spending our time here and volunteering, this complete volunteer organization. We're very proud to be a part of what we represent to the community, a place safe and welcoming and encouraging for young and old theater people alike. And whether you're a patron or a supporter or an actor or a costumer, we love you all. And it has felt like that since the beginning, 1985. And I'm happy to say that we're still here, and it's 2025. I can't even believe that. But yeah. Why should you give your time, talents, energies, monies to the Players Club in Swarthmore? This theater holds high the integrity of quality theater. We are diverse in our selection of shows. We try very hard to create an environment that is welcoming. We have an old building we're very proud of. We have our own dressing rooms. We have a big shop. We have property that we need to maintain. And it only can happen, and we can only continue to thrive and survive with the support of our donors and our volunteers. And like I said, we are a completely volunteer organization, and we're proud of that. And we hope that you can give your time, talents, or money, to the theater. It would be greatly appreciated, and it keeps us going. A roof over our head and our lights on. So thank you.
I have learned more things about life and specific skills here than any other place I could ever think to. I know how to use power tools now. I know how to tap dance now. I can do improv now. I know lots of urban slang because, I'm old. I wouldn't know that if I didn't come here. It is rewarding on so many levels. There's the ability to watch everybody learn how they're doing what they're doing. There's the ability to see the finished product. There's the ability to listen to an audience react to that finished product. I don't think anything could be more fun. I got here with my children because my children did YPTW, and I learned how to do some of the technical theater pieces with them, but then they grew up and left, and I stayed. PCS is an important place because it's welcoming to everyone, to audience members, to actors, to production staff, to people who just want to hand out a program. It is inclusive in the ways that we all hope to be, and PCS should be proud of itself for doing that.